welcome to Vegas Views. And happy Valentine's Day.
Happy
BD. I am your co-host, Drea Davis, and beside me we have
co-host. I'm actually a co-host too. I don't know what's going on. You're supposed to say host and co-host. We'll figure out. Nicole Vegas. We have somebody really special here today. He's amazing. So much fun. Yeah, you know it. You know he knows. He's just being humble. He's just being humble right now. I'm telling you, really gifted. And I got to work with him on set, but I'm gonna pace myself on this one.
We're gonna have some fun.
So it is Ronnie Nanos.
You're good.
John Stamos.
They're both Greek last names. It's okay. Yeah, they're both
okay.
Greek.
No one can pronounce Greek, really.
Oh my gosh. Just thank you so much for taking the time to be on Vegas Views.
Thank you all for having me. Yes. It's always good to come here.
Awesome. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy, fun, working, hard schedule.
A little busy, sometimes fun, mostly fun.
Yeah.
But no, it's always good to come and do this. This is always fun to come here. Again, I've met with Maria and Nicole and lots of different people through many years. So it's kind of like a little full circle.
Many years? How many years back?
God, it was just again. I started working out in Vegas 8 years ago, and it's been nonstop.
Okay.
So.
There's newer viewers, and they're like,
I know
Ronnie, we gotta share.
Yes.
Hello, newer viewers.
You are, and what you do, and your performances, and your talent. I mean, it is stacked. I check out his IMDb page too.
It's
phenomenal.
He
gets a nice bio on there too. From Texas.
Well, I think the last time I was here, the last interview I did with social media networks was we were just finishing the Actually, we were just doing the Death Club film premiere.
Death Club, yes,
at
I saw
that
that.
time. So we premiered Death Club. Nicole was part of Death. You remember that film, Death Club, Nicole?
Okay, Death Club, that was it's amazing. It was so awesome.
Nicole
I've
was
seen
part
it
of
in
that
the
film
theater
as well. And again, that was the last thing we were working on at that time. It did get some
awards.
It got some awards.
A lot of awards. I mean, so many awards.
I saw that Death Club between you all. So what was that about? What were you all doing? Tell me a little bit about it.
What I like about Death Club, again, that's a great segue. I wanted to talk about it a little bit today. Anyway, again, Death Club right now has been kind of advertised as kind of like this kind of horror film. With this, I personally don't even really think it's a horror film, to be honest.
Okay.
I think Death Club is kind of, I think the best way to market it would be, it's kind of a Christmas carol for clubgoers.
Oh,
okay.
So. It was awesome. You should see
it is a Christmas carol for
the
clubgoers in a way
characters.
because it's a morality tale. Nobody actually dies, or do they?
Oh, so it's one of
Can
those.
I give it away? No, I can't give it away.
It's like suspenseful.
I'm always afraid to talk about it too
absolutely.
much.
Let's talk about it.
I think you should talk about it.
Yeah, because there's
your
lots
main
of nuances
characters. So thank you so much for having me on. I was a PA.
She was, and she also was in one of the clubgoers as well.
I was clubgoers, but working behind the scene and seeing all the talent and the cast and crew chemistry was the top. It was the best group to work for I've ever, and I've chased that. I've chased that because I thought it was gonna be like that with all these other sets, and it wasn't.
You're right. Again, and that's
great
one
set.
thing. A lot of the things working in independent film, and even Death Club was the second film I directed, really kind of third. I directed all the American scenes in Mr. Deshi, but it was on the spot. It was on the spot. But when we did Death Club, I think, and now that you've worked on a lot of different sets, you take from the sets that you work on.
Yeah.
You know how you want things to run smoothly. I'm a business person and whatnot, and I travel a lot. It would drive me crazy not to having an organized set. It would drive me bonkers. And anybody that knows me knows that I'm a schedule-oriented person. But I also want to make sure that we're creating, art and something that we're proud of making.
Thank you.
And that's always the thing is, I think we get a lot of people. We go in again, this is not saying anyone's way is right or wrong. From my perspective, I just want to go there and have a good shoot, a good solid shoot where we're on time, where we show up on time.
Yes.
I don't want to do too much where his head gets so big.
No, it's not in
but
we've been on different sets that has happened, and it's nothing against anybody that it doesn't happen that way all the time because it's very, very rare in independent film.
It's rare.
Really
I'm so fortunate. I was so fortunate to work with so many
rare in a lot of places that.
And sometimes you won't get the sets like how you have, and then you have to figure out what you bring to it.
Bad. It's just a different way.
Exactly.
It's just a different way.
You know what? I'm glad that you said something about the art.
Yeah.
Because it's right now in 2023, where is the art
right?
Side of it?
Because we start losing perspective on that.
Yes.
I think a lot. people get real involved, and especially real fast, and you want to do as much. And I've been new here. I've been new in Vegas and LA and working, and I think getting into it a little older makes a little difference because you have that perspective of that. I don't have to put up with some things to be there.
Yeah, exactly. You don't.
You're like, I'm old. I don't want to do that. So you go in with that perspective. But, I think the best way to go on any kind of set or any kind of project is you go in and like, do I bring value when I'm here? Am I going to make this a better set? Am I going to make this easier for everyone around me? And if we at least accomplish 50% of that, I think we're successful.
I was going to say, it's like, okay, what do I bring to the table? Or baby, I am the table.
No,
he is the table.
And the amount of work too that you end up doing. And again, a lot of us like to work hard. And Nicole's a very hard worker. I've seen her on sets as well. But it also gets to that perspective when we're working on independent films that your work is valued.
Absolutely.
Because especially when you're in a position where you're in charge. Because I've been on both, where I'm the new guy and the person that's the employer. And you got to make people feel like they're valued.
Yes, for sure.
And then even when you're on that receiving end, when you're doing a lot of work, and the people
you
are
the table.
I like to work, and that's really
it's your passion.
To work. I like to work with people that like to work diligently, that are there for the let's make the best thing possible that we can do together.
Yes.
And again, it doesn't
He's
always
humble.
work that. No,
I love it.
We talk about the film festivals and all that.
How many did you win? I just want to know. There was like, how much? Just to say
it. To add on that, my favorite award that we did get, it was in the last festival, and even as a director, as producers, we win when the people that work for us win. And for me, I was really excited. The last award we got at the Dream Machine, I think it was called, and when the cast won for Best Ensemble. To me as a director, that was the most important thing because that means that I led those people. And for a lot of them, it was their first award that it made me feel good to go on IMDb and add that to their IMDb. That you have an award now. It's an official award. And again, the awards are nice. Of course, everyone likes that. Yeah, that kind of, we've been noticed. We've been acknowledged.
Absolutely.
I think even progressing forward as a filmmaker, again, even the first 2 films, or 3, I never chose the script. I was given stuff and was hoping I could make the best possible thing with what I was given. And I think even what comes next is I did actually start writing a script. It'll be available for people to read towards the end of March. I get a good friend of mine, Sadie Katz, when I was in LA.
Sadie.
She's awesome.
She's great.
One of my
congratulations to her with her new
he's precious. He's precious. So we always meet for lunch, and I've thrown my script ideas towards Sadie back in September, and it's when I just saw her, talked to her on the phone last week, and she's like, "So where are we at the script?" I'm like, "I'll have stuff for you ready to read by the end of March. Is that good?"
Yeah.
She's like, I'm like, it's coming along. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've written something. Again, it's not the horror genre, the erotic thriller, or stuff that I've been given.
Can you give a little bit out?
Switching it up a bit.
The viewers
this is for people that are. It's called Gen X AF.
Okay.
And it's a coming of age story for Gen Xers in the world now. People my age now.
Cool.
I just turned 50 this year.
He doesn't look it, huh? He carries himself really well.
There's and it's an intertwining story. It's 3 different stories that intertwine, and there's this kind of big moment where the stories meet, and the characters really have nothing to do with each other. I kind of think like Crash was, but I still want that Gen X feeling that has a very Gen Xers are very particular about it. Very particular. You are particular about that time. And I want them to feel, again, do we feel relevant nowadays? How do we feel? Again, we're that age, those we're that one generation that lived in when we had typewriters in school.
Yeah,
and switched to the computer generation. We're that switch over generation.
That's true.
And trying to make it in the world sometimes and often you question a lot of things.
And you feel sometimes like,
you question, am I, you don't feel like you're like, I don't feel like an old dude.
Exactly.
You
don't look like
but there's times like, okay, I got my lunch, I'm good with that. So that's the script coming out. There's that.
Congratulations.
We're continuing with Death Club as well. I mean, I know we have a lot of questions from cast members.
With that one thing.
Sorry.
Not done yet. So are you going to film it here? Can you at least Just give me some things. Give me something. We can move on. I promise.
Well, give us something.
I'm like shaking my chair.
Well, first, I need to finish writing, and then I'll workshop it with a few of my filmmaker friends. I do like to work. I like to workshop, and I want it to be, especially as a writer and a person with the theater background, that I want these characters very complete.
Yes.
I want it. Again, everybody says that. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's got to be just right," but it does. Again,
It kind of does.
Because
it's your baby.
Well, that, and again, it's a. As a filmmaker, as a director, I don't think I've gotten yet to make the type of film I want to make yet.
I feel you.
Not yet.
Yeah.
And
it takes a
while.
though.
Again, I have been lucky to be chosen as a director,
Yes.
but I've never gotten to choose a script. Not one
Okay.
time.
Yeah,
not
this
one
is-
time.
this
So this is the first time you
huge.
actually
This is a great-
got to choose your
choose
script
my
and you're going
script,
with it
and this is what I'm going
ideas.
to do with it. Yes.
Okay, so you're pretty much feeling like you're in
Maybe.
charge in the seat, like the creator.
Uh-huh.
How do you stay like, you know how you want to have something done
Uh-huh.
by March or so, but then like the ideas aren't coming to you yet. So how do you get inspired to do it?
They're in real life.
Real life.
I know
Okay,
how
that's
to
what
write
I
from
said.
the perspective that is best for me. I know through my own experiences, and I talk to people and have conversations with people where we relate on stuff. Again, I think the hardest part of screenwriting and script writing at all is actually writing conversations that sound like they're real. Very often, I know new writers, and I've gotten to edit a lot of scripts with a lot of people. I get scripts that I send, and I give my ideas. Often, a lot of writers start. We don't monologue at each other.
Oh,
And
yeah,
does that make sense?
It has to be
Yeah.
organic.
Yeah,
There has to be a
every,
flow.
often first-time writers, there's these long monologues
Uh-huh.
to each other, and they're beautiful, but nobody talks like that. No, I have a few friends that do talk like that. And I talk a lot, and they make me seem like I don't talk at all.
Right.
More talking than.
But so that's where I'm at on that. Maybe Vegas, maybe LA. I guess it's one of those.
No,
Yes.
finally, it took a long time to get that answer.
It's just organically where we feel with it at the time. Where the actors are. It's written for people in their 40s and 50s, but with the younger generation too. They have children. Some of them have children. Some of them, and how we relate to that. Adult children at that.
Exactly.
Adult children. Some have adult children that still live at home.
No, I don't have that yet. I don't have any of that.
You're like, I don't want that.
No, mine's in the Marine boot camp right now, getting his butt.
But
Good.
again, it's just the different perspectives.
Yes.
Again, that I'm more about unifying a lot of things and perspectives inside the world. There seems to be so much division politically,
So
everything.
much, yeah. So many
Everything.
opinions.
I think it's time to find the things that connect us as human beings,
get
even if we
connected.
have different opinions on different
Absolutely.
things. And
Absolutely.
that's where I'm at with
I
that.
like that too.
I love that.
So then we can now talk about Death Club again.
Death
I'd like to
Club.
talk
Back
about
to
one
Death Club.
scene. Can I talk about the scene
Sure.
that made me blush a little bit?
Okay.
Do you know what scene?
I
Because there's a
don't-
lot of them. I know.
don't
See,
know
you really
which
know
one did you
it.
blush in Death Club.
I did blush.
Did you see Ring of Desire before Death Club?
This was more
Oh,
sensual.
yeah,
No,
really, I don't
no.
know.
You were
I
blushing.
saw
Ring of
Ring of
Desire had a
I
lot more.
Tell us
I
what
saw
got you
Ring of
blushing in
Desire.
Death Club.
We'll talk about Ring of Desire and
Okay.
Mr. Deshi.
Yeah.
I rented the movie. I
Yeah.
follow. I
Yeah,
support.
Death Club.
Mhm.
So there was a scene and it looked like some kind of a club scene, and the people were like their bodies were
Dancing,
together.
right,
Dancing?
yeah.
I don't know. See, more than dancing. It seemed
Right.
more than dancing to me.
Okay.
And I thought it was like something more. I mean,
Uh-huh.
but it was very sensual.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't really understand everything you did beforehand,
Uh-huh.
like with burlesque.
Uh-huh.
And then I found out there's a lot of talent on your set with
Yes.
burlesque
Mhm.
dancers.
A lot of them, yes.
And they know how to be
Dancers are so
very
talented.
expressive
Yes.
Uh-huh.
with their
Well,
sensuality.
Right. Well, the art of burlesque it's the art of the tease, and it includes dancing, some stripping,
Mm.
some vaudeville, some singing, and we actually worked with those burlesque performers. I rehearsed with them. Even in their scenes, people like they're just club goers. No, they all knew who they were in that club, who they as characters. We talked about that. We did Zoom reads. We met in this space actually to rehearse. This is exactly what we rehearsed was right here.
This
Yes.
magic happened.
Right here.
Okay.
The magic happened for those club scenes was rehearsed right here.
Ooh.
And so what utilizing the burlesque community is. I'm part of the burlesque community as well.
So we're gonna talk
I've been a
about your
mentor
name.
and whatnot. My
Holiday.
burlesque name is PISTOL HOLLIDAY.
Pistol.
And we'll get into
Okay,
that.
yeah.
We're gonna get
But,
there, but yes.
all those burlesquers, and it's crazy. And it didn't happen on purpose, but the first person that we see in Death Club and the first person we see in Ring of Desire is a beautiful burlesque artist named Neon. Lady Neon, a beautiful,
Lady
tall,
Neon.
bald black woman, and she's just outstanding.
She's
Outstanding.
beautiful.
She's my good luck charm.
I love burlesque women.
She's my
So stunning.
good luck
Yes.
charm, actually. And when we were editing both films, it wasn't done intentionally, but she was the first character you see in both films. So I've told her that she's my good luck charm.
Yes.
She wasn't part of Mr. Deshi, but that was before. Again, Mr. Deshi, I'm not. I did direct all the American scenes, but we didn't make me the director because I didn't come in as the director. I was the script supervisor, first AD, and on set. Oh, you're directing these. Okay. Well, we don't take the credit on that because if I direct, I do like to prepare. That was on the spot. You're going to do this. If it weren't for that, I would have gotten to direct the next two films again. So there's those things when you're thrown in a situation that seems like lemons.
Ooh,
And it did.
What am I
Don't get me wrong, it did. Mr. Dashi, the set sounded like we were lemons. It was like, oh my gosh, what is happening?
Yeah.
But
I saw your
if
scene.
it worked for that,
Did you have a can?
and I was directing that scene too. Every scene that's filmed here, I directed. So.
And then it was just on the spot.
And we had no monitors to even watch what we were doing for that set. Again, it's from those sets when you make the best that you can. If it weren't for how that set was and taking charge.
Yeah.
And creating a schedule that the other two wouldn't have happened. And
So do you think
it made me over-organized on the next two.
So that you had experience that you knew kind of what to do a little bit?
Well, I've been a director. I've directed live theater. I was a director on the Las Vegas Strip. I choreographed Evil Dead the musical.
And it was live, so that's the real deal.
Right, and then I was the director for a month before I resigned because I started moving into film at the time.
Saw on your IMDb too.
Yeah, I was the
Beautiful
director.
Bio. Yes.
And I came in and I re-choreographed that entire show after it had been running for 3 years, and I re-choreographed it while it was on stage. So the actors and performers in Evil Dead would have their show on the weekends, and then we rehearsed during the week, and we would change it. I re-choreographed the entire show in 3 weeks. And then I would come and visit and critique it once a month. Then I got involved in film and was hired to do another show as an actor at the Onyx Theater. And while I was doing that, they needed somebody to read at a film reading for Joe Lujan's The Immortal Wars. And that's how I got into film. It was never the plan. I'm that reluctant performer. I like to be the producer. I like to be the director. I like to be behind the scenes, even on live theater, the burlesque world, bar owner. Well, and it's so crazy because then you go in and often people are like, do you perform?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going, keep going. Not just that. Keep going. Yeah.
I'm so reluctant that I get because I get nervous. It's so crazy. As a burlesque performer, I was a ballet dancer in my 20s and all that, and I wanted a burlesque in my venue in Texas, and it's crazy. This week in Las Vegas, in LA, I performed 6 times, and I haven't done a hardcore performing like I just did this week while I was here since way back when I started. It about killed me this week. I'm tired.
I'm tired, but no, you can't be tired right now.
But it was great. It was great to get into that thing because I forgot even here in Vegas, there's a lot of performers. Again, I've been directing. I've been doing a lot of other things and I've had gigs, but it's been like, oh yeah, hey, Pistol, you want to do so where it was new, and I got to work with a lot of new people that in the Vegas burlesque community that I'd never met, and I was new to them. They knew my name, but they didn't know me.
Exactly.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
But I was lovely. It was a good time. It was tiring. Very tiring.
Yeah. But your body looks good, like you see. You know what I mean?
It's all smoke and mirrors.
Yes, you see,
Smoke and mirrors. But no, again, but on Death Club, I know right now we're waiting on distribution. There have been offers. I know that's the thing. I know we're getting a lot of people that are asking.
Oh yes,
so
it was fabulous.
And they're the people to go to would be the Patels. Ask the Patels again. I know they don't mind y'all asking them. Get on them. Ask them.
Yeah, they have all the answers.
Ask them for that. I know some of the marketing. I would market it a little different. Again, and this is stuff I verbalized with Neel. All the people. I'm not shy.
But you don't have those ready, like the DVD players.
No, but I think marketing for this one would be different. I think. Often everyone thinks it's a horror film. Again, I think the best thing about this film is we have the music, and it was all completely original with Ricardo Gerhardt. And the soundtrack
it's the soundtrack for me
always.
With
Ricardo Gerhardt and Kane Blust, both amazingly talented musicians, and all his music in the film it's all original, right for that film, and it's just the way it was fun. And
that's something to market.
And I think that you don't even know people. Death Club's an incomplete film. There's a lot of things in the whole things I put in as a director. I wanted one more day of shooting to kind of complete the story.
It looks so good and cinematic.
Yeah, there's a couple of things. There's one thing I wanted to add. I threw away with it. It would have taken one more day. We'll see. And even at the end, did you watch without giving the film away?
Yeah.
Remember at the end when they're walking off and there's that resolution, their friend meets them there, and you see them.
Oh yes,
they're saying bye. If you watch the characters that walk off, they disintegrate. Are they alive or are they dead?
So it's like what happened.
Yeah, now you're like, I didn't notice that.
Why would you do that to me? Now I have to watch it again.
You have to. There's little moments of that what I had, which are the actual journeys of those characters. So that's why I say it's an incomplete film. These are things I talked with the writer and whatnot. I'm like, if we ever got this, it'd be easy just to add one day of shoot. And I gave them treatment of what it would be. Because they are actually in the film of what the ideas were. That's what I think kind of makes it cool. It's a little cultish. It's a little one of those. I think we can get a cult following for that film with the music and with those little unanswered questions. It almost doesn't make sense, but it does. If you
it's something I can watch over and over again. But I can't get it in my hand.
Not yet.
So it's one of those things
like talk to Neel.
Okay, so
Neel's holding on.
Well, the regular distribution, I don't know what it is, but I'm like, I know they're
it gives people something to talk about, that discussion afterwards.
That's what we want with it.
Yes.
And that's where I think we could really market that film from a different way, a different perspective for our actors, people, and our producers. That it is a puzzle, and there are those little parts that are like they disintegrated, and it's so subtle, but it's there. I made very sure of it. Now you got to go back and you got to look like, and you're going to watch, and you're like, that did happen.
Oh my God!
The Kane knows that is these are the discussions that the editor and I that Kane had. We had lots of discussions when we were doing it. But,
you did well though.
And that's why his music was really instrumental, and he knew what my vibe was. He'd send me. I knew he was sending me temp tracks, and there'd be covers. I'd be like, I really like that, Kane. We can't use a cover. Like, what do you want? It's original. And he was great. He's no covers. I just saw Kane a couple of nights ago. He came and watched me perform.
Oh, he's so great. He's been reaching out to me too, and I've been just seeing his work and supporting him back.
Super
he's a team
talented.
Player. He is amazing.
Humble talent too. He's so humble too, and just so innately talented. He can act. He can sing. He can edit. He can do all those really cool things.
That's somebody that is an asset.
Anybody that can work, anybody that gets to work with Kane is so lucky and blessed to work with him. I would recommend him to anybody.
No, I want to get my hands on him for my upcoming one.
Get him. Hire him.
See Phillips about it.
Yeah. Kane is great. Great. I really, especially with Sean's films with horror based and whatnot, Kane can really make some awesome stuff. I really hire Kane.
So Kane.
Kane blood.
No, yes,
but,
it's amazing.
Where are we at now?
We're actually no, we're not. We're actually going to be taking a short break. That means stay tuned. Actually, what we're doing, what we're doing the short break.
Do some research.
Get some water.
Check social.
I got him.
Check social media shows network. She's on Spotify now. Get connected, share, and you can be tagging your friends right now so they can come back.
Yes, I did leave the links on my thing so people can watch this
live. Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
And we'll share it again. We're gonna get some watches. People
Come back.
Come back. Play. Get yourself some water.
Days of the Dead. And we're going to be at the Days of the Dead event coming this weekend. So I'm going to touch a little base on that too towards the end. Check out our booth, social media shows, Vegas Views, get connected. And the sponsors that will be listed on Vegas Views. All right, stay tuned.
Yay!
This show is brought to you by Michelle Kubiak with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, call Michelle at 702-683-6576. Her license number is S.48606. This show is also brought to you by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa, located on Silverado Ranch, here in Henderson, Nevada. Restore, relax, and refresh. Let's not forget our very own Meryl and Merrick comedy show. This fun, comical TV sitcom duo with Social Media Shows Network loves to make you laugh. Mahel Empire Productions. It's a filmmaker based in Las Vegas, Nevada. Founded by Michael and Sonny Mahal and are dedicated to making feature films. Turn your power on. with Broken Ball Productions, owned by Russell Rapp, an independent filmmaker based out of New Jersey. This show is brought to you by, let's not forget, our very own GI Connections. It's a non-profit organization that connects veterans with resources. We're also proud to recognize Prolific Arts with Sonia Scott. Painting is the expression of emotion and feeling deep within one's heart. Let's not forget Matoma Environmental Technologies. Global research, development, and manufacturing of innovative photocatalytic products. Our show is also brought to you by Carmelo Rodriguez, who is the author of a best-selling book called Smile. It's based on true events. It's the story of a couple building a family. Get your copy of his book at Amazon today. We also love our musicians. Think about Frank's Tribute, an all-star band. It's a Green Bay-based band with Let Me Be Frank's Productions, family-owned by Frank Hermans, who happens to be a veteran entertainer.
Welcome back to Vegas Views. I'm your host, Drea, and beside me we have
Nicole Vegas.
Ronnie Nanos.
So
Please check out.
Go ahead.
Please check out social media networks. This weekend we do have Days of the Dead event, and we have tons of sponsors. And Nicole Vegas will be doing.
I'm going to be giving the interviews, so it's Social Media Shows Network. Check her out on Spotify. We have a lot of sponsors that we're going to give shout out to. Thank you so much for the sponsorship. It's a 3-day event at the Days of the Dead. Get your tickets. If you're a veteran or a child under 12, it is free.
It's
so
free.
Come on by.
Yay!
Now we're going to talk about the goodies of Ronnie with his performances. And
a little burlesque now?
But I do have to ask something. I would really like to. I've been thinking about
Ask
it.
me whatever
Thank
you like.
See how nice
He's ready. He's been ready.
So
I don't know.
how do
played
you
chess.
get into it? How do you get into being a burlesque? Like, how if someone is ever wanting to go that route, how does that happen?
There's lots of different ways. My own came from I was an accidental burlesquer as well. I came into class because I wanted burlesque in my venue in Amarillo, Texas, in my Black Box Theater. So I came into class at it doesn't exist anymore, the Las Vegas School of Burlesque. And again, they're in the Do You Perform? Yes, that has. So for me, it happened from that perspective. I was kind of made one, just like made a film director.
Yeah.
I wasn't given a choice. But for people that want to go into it that have never done it, there's lots of ways. In fact, there's a lot of people here in Las Vegas that have done just that, actually, and have progressed really well. I know you guys had Bones and Gabby on one of your shows recently, and they just started the burlesque community about a year and a half ago. Now they own a festival, the Golden Legends Festival, that they bought from burlesque legend Gabriella Mays, and I'm friends with everybody on all of that. But
no classes though.
There are classes now that people can take here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, like, well, how did you get to the training side of it?
You know, go on to the burlesque sites. There is a We Love Las Vegas Burlesque, and there is a Las Vegas Burlesque, and on there you see where people are having shows or auditions, or people that have classes like Miss Brawling Beauty has classes out here. Lily Starr, Illy Mayrose, they have classes even at the Burlesque Hall of Fame Museum.
Like a beginner,
they beginner, and I think
like a beginner.
and a lot of them go from beginner to advanced. I know at the Hall of Fame Museum they have beginner classes, and they take you on like a 6 weeks course, and then you get to perform in one of their shows in a group number. But again, it varies from different performers and what they're in it for, and it, as with any kind of art form, whether you're a musician or a film person or a theater, it's just going in knowing what you want from that. Again, when I became a burlesque performer or even went into film, they weren't things that I actually started and sought out, but I decided that I was going to do them. I wanted to do them a way that works for me.
For you. That's okay, so I'm
ambitious and I like professional work.
Yes.
So it kind of went together in a way.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's not to discredit anyone else's process. It's more, again, I know people that are musicians and they work in their local communities, and that's enough. And even with burlesquers, or even with filmmakers, independent filmmakers, I don't even know if they're making films to create whatever the justification behind anything is like, do we create theater or film to entertain? Are we doing it to educate? Are we doing it for whatever reason? And no one's wrong or right. I know what mine are. It's just knowing what you're going in for it, and that's in burlesque, any form of the arts, what you want out of it. Some people want to be there and be the stars, and there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yes.
It's not my thing. Again, so we were talking about the festivals and the awards, and they are lovely. They really are. And it's always humbling when you get something that and what a nice thing. So why I do it? No, absolutely not. I really want to create good work. I like when the actors and the crew get awards. As the director, that is my award
Because
too.
you look out for others.
Well, and that reflects on me.
I can tell. I can tell you're like that just by meeting
you
today.
care so much in the
How else?
passion.
How else? I know the people that have led me or mentored me in the past. That was always the way it worked, and and they were hard. I can be hard. I can be very hard.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Not for me though.
I can be.
Yes.
But it's never meant from a place of I want to put someone down. I want to elevate them.
If you see
I
something
I
in
see so
someone,
much
yes,
more in you, and I had people do that in me, and I used to get pissed off. And
Of course, you didn't understand. Now
You
you
did.
Yeah.
It's too late. It's too late. It's okay.
But that when you're younger, you think they're just after me, and I don't think that. I'm like, no, they were actually trying to help.
They were trying to
me.
help.
I was
They were
thrown
trying
out
to
of
help
things
you.
because I, was a screw up at times. I had to learn those
You
things.
learn. It's lessons in life.
And no one told you like
Yes.
it's up. It's like it's a reflection of.
It's because I'm a Gen Xer.
Yeah.
We could take
Is
it.
that what it is?
Yeah. Because I'm like, we're the kids that we could take it.
You can
Like,
take
we
that.
did theater. I played sports as a kid. I had tough teachers, and I took it. And I also grew up. I'm from a family of law enforcement. My dad was a cop.
Yes, you did.
My uncles and all of my,
So, it's been
they were all very
cutthroat.
diligent, and if I did something wrong, I got in trouble.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what
You got in real
with
trouble.
you though, because you're really good. When something arises, you want to hear it all. You want to know from each person.
Of course, that's my
There's
phone.
some music. Because you know why? Because Ronnie's gonna have a Mardi Gras at his bar
In
in
Amarillo,
Texas.
Texas. Yes, it's our Mardi Gras. I'm the longest running Mardi Gras in Amarillo, Texas. Longest and largest.
Wow.
So we have a couple bands
We're
playing for
going.
us. They're called Dude Man and Silver Bullet. We're gonna have some free grub there.
When? When can
What
we
is
go?
it?
When can we go?
Fat Tuesday is February 21st in Amarillo,
Oh, that's
Texas.
so soon.
That's why I
Next
can't
week.
be here this weekend.
Okay.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
this weekend.
I gotta
It
go
sounds like
prepare
so
for
much
that.
fun. I do have friends in Texas. I'm going to
Yeah,
share that. There's a lot
absolutely.
of actor friends that I can know.
Absolutely.
It's all
Hear
about
that,
those
Texas
connections.
people?
Absolutely. But-
Get out to the Mardi Gras.
Yeah, come and see us in Amarillo. And also, I did book a great band from Vegas. Will be performing it at my bar in Amarillo on April 8th. It's
Ooh.
Frank's and Dean's. They had a Double Down Saloon here.
Oh, okay.
Really
I see.
well, they're
I've
little
heard
punk
them.
rock.
They have
Yeah, they're great.
What do they
sponsors
have?
all around
You're
the-
like this.
Yeah,
What
they're
do they have?
really quite
Yes.
well known out here.
You can see them on like the cars.
And the venue they
downtown.
used to go down there for it closed down. It's crazy. We were all friends on Facebook. They didn't know I owned a bar in Texas. Someone tagged me. They're like, "Well, they had lost the venue they were performing at," and they put a thing on Facebook. And they're like, "Does anybody know anyone in Amarillo that has a bar or whatnot?" And someone
We're gonna
tagged
have
me.
fun. That's
they-
what I'm thinking about
And
when
they're
he's
like,
talking.
and when they tagged
I
me,
was
we
just
were already
thinking that.
friends. They're like, "So Ronnie, do you know anybody?" I'm like, "Yeah, I own a bar in Texas."
I was what you
But
said.
they all know me from here.
So
You
next
seem like
time,
you work
can give
really
me a
hard,
heads
but
up,
it's
so
fun.
I will go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
just one
going to
day.
go.
We
Can I
have
just have
lots
one
of
day of
events.
fun?
We
I
have
just want
lots
one
of
day.
events there.
With
We
no
do.
videos of me though
That's
having
all good.
fun.
So
Like
you
that.
all, what we learned so far is Ronnie, he works really hard, but his life seems really, really fun.
It's
Like,
fun.
really, really
It's
fun.
busy. It's tiring. Again, and then real life happens. Again, like I said, my partner was sick this last year. He's doing much better. But it's a lot of work. Again, you have to balance life. And I had a great year, even at the bar this year. This last February is going that way too. January and February are the busiest I've been in the 18 years I've been open. So,
I'm gonna clap.
Why is it
Even-
busy now?
That's
it
good.
just happens that way. We're bigger than we were pre-pandemic,
Okay.
and I was shut down during
Word
the
of
pandemic
mouth.
for 6 months.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Oh,
So, yeah, I had no
So,
income.
You
My
had to
my
took
bar.
some look-ins on some
I
stuff.
did, but I mean, I'm fortunate. The bar's been. My business has been paid off.
Okay, so
Because-
then,
yeah, for
It's like you
11
don't have to
years now.
worry about the overhead, but you didn't
Well,
need the people.
I was worried because my employees didn't have work.
Exactly.
And the-
If you care about people, see, that's why I enjoy Ronnie so much. When Maria was like,
He's a
"Oh, he's gonna
people
be on
person.
your show," I was like, really.
Well, that's
Yeah,
my
I'm
thing
like
is
so
with Death Club
excited.
too.
I'm
I
so
want
excited.
all you actors and people that worked on it. I want you guys to get to be able to see Death Club and share that with your
I
family.
can't
with
wait.
it.
I'll buy
Bother
some.
Neel.
I'll
Bother Neel. Because for me, it's
Neel
more
Patel.
important for you guys to have it.
Yes.
Because again, I know for a lot of people that was their first film as well, and just to be part of that, is always
yes.
great. When you, for some people,
It was so good.
it's like a dream come true. Again, when you get to work a lot of films, it's awesome. But for some people, if they just get to work that one, it's a dream come
Yes,
true.
they're excited. Yes, it
Oh
just
my
We get to
God,
do
you
stuff with a
appreciate
lot of
that.
people,
Beautiful.
and I think
It was so
with the more
gorgeous.
sets we're on,
it must be really good because you're like, oh,
It was so beautiful.
It's
And your
always
set
good
was
to
so good. It
It's
was.
always good to be on a set and stop every now and then and go, we're lucky to get to do the things we get to do. We are.
I didn't realize how
For
lucky.
real.
That's the thing, because I was new and I didn't know much.
But it was fun,
I still
but-
don't know much, but I do appreciate.
We all learn as we go. We all
Mhm.
get, I'm
Everybody.
about to do, I'm working on a film in
Where?
in May
It-
in Utah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's the
Utah.
neighbor. That's the neighbor.
I'm the first AD and the script supervisor for that film.
Is it a holiday
great,
film,
It's
or-
a great writer. His name is Jeff London. It's called A Wonderful Life.
Okay.
It's a rom-com. It's a gay
Ooh, I love
rom-com.
rom-coms.
And I'm really excited to get to work with it. It's a full feature. He's shooting in 6 days.
6 days.
Ooh.
I'm so excited to
I
do that.
feel
I
like-
love that
I feel so-
efficiency. And
Yeah.
but not a lot of actors. I've looked up
That's
some
why,
of his
'cause it'll
work.
help be
Yes.
intimate, very
And
intimate.
that he's actually they're doing the finishing funds for the Indiegogo that'll start today.
I didn't know
online.
that was.
I'll share that today
Okay,
because
I'm a supporter.
yeah, and
love
again,
that
it's
stuff.
they have very little to go on
I
it.
can see
I'm
that
gonna-
happening.
but yeah,
6
I'm
days,
excited to
Utah.
get
They're
to
really
work with it. So,
organized.
yes, and then
Yes.
it was fun. It's very little. I think we're only 6,000 left to go.
Okay,
Which is
all right,
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yes,
But,
Exciting.
but that's shooting in May, and I got to. It's funny. I got to even read for him for a role, and they had offered it, and he goes. And I remember at the time he's like,
Did you get one?
I did, then I didn't, because he told me he goes, "What would you prefer?" I'm like, I'm always going to. That's a great question.
Mhm.
I will always prefer production, just so you know.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
You're like, you wanna be
every
behind.
time. I'm
You
like,
have such a great look too, and
Oh,
your
it
talent.
But
was-
you're not. You want to be like more behind
well,
the scenes
right,
now.
and it was a lovely part. It's a smaller role, and that has nothing to do with it. It was it was something. It wasn't something of like, oh my gosh, I have to have that role. It was like, it was when he goes, well, you're gonna be here if you're available. I'm like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and that's fine. But again, I don't have to be on that side of the camera.
Yes,
I
yes,
don't.
yes, yes, yes. I'm
I
gonna say
don't.
yes. I'm gonna.
There's a couple filmmakers out here that
Some people just don't
Nancy-
want to anymore.
No, he's
Her
going
name-
to.
Nancy
He's
Hawthorne
going to.
has a film that she's been trying to get funding for the past few years, and there is actually a role in it that I read for that I do want to actually do that
Okay.
role when it happens. But yeah,
So
when you
you
have a
want
role,
it?
when there's a role, you're like,
What's that
Okay.
want look?
if we get that, if that film gets made, where I'm like, I do want to do that.
So when you
role.
feel it, like you're like, oh,
See,
no,
I
can see
want
that
this
look
one.
now.
Yeah, yeah, that
Right
look was
there.
like,
Right
Look,
there.
no,
it's
I want
something
that
that's
one.
out of your comfort zone that you're like that challenges you as an actor, as an artist, and that's
So-
even in the burlesque community. Like we were talking earlier with Bones. GLCC, there's a Golden Legends Championship Challenge that they're doing.
Mhm.
It'll be here in Las
GLCC.
Vegas,
When?
and it's in August, and that is a burlesque festival that brings in
Here?
new up and comers and even
Ooh.
seasoned performers, and they get to pick a mentor that they work with and train and compete.
Ooh.
I used to be a mentor for that when Gabriella Maisla had it, and she'd asked me. This year they had made that offer to be a mentor, and this is the first time you guys get an exclusive scoop here.
Give it.
Come on, come on.
I didn't go as a mentor this year. I went in as a protege. That I get to train with somebody more advanced to train me to compete.
Oh, that's
That's special.
lovely.
That's
That's exactly
really
what you
is
want, huh?
exciting.
Yeah, that's
So-
exciting.
For me to get to do that, again, it's taking those steps back, and I do that even with film as an artist. I'm the biggest advocate for working on your craft. I go to acting classes, go to every go to stud
Spend so
classes,
much
go
money
to
on
every
those.
class you can
Oh,
go.
yes.
Speaking of acting
Go
classes,
to.
I saw that you have Stella Adler training.
I did
Okay, so I did too for a little bit,
nice.
and I want to touch back to the beginning when you said you do dancing,
Yes,
So,
as a ballet dancer.
ballet dancing. Okay,
Yeah.
so when I did Stella Adler
Mhm.
training, she was saying like you should get into dance if you want to learn how to express yourself more as an actress.
hmm
Do you agree with that?
I agree with that, and I see how it works with Stella Adler training or any kind of method acting
Mhm.
training. I do love, working method like Strasberg and Adler, and for the reason that why dance training and that physicality is because if you're going method, a lot of method actors change their walk, change the way their
Yes,
demeanor
your
is,
body,
and dance
express
training
yourself.
will give you that because sometimes you just want it to feel heavier, and if you have dance
Mhm.
training, can make it and change your body and demeanor. So it does work in the.
So you're not so like stiff.
It does work in the whole concept of what Adler training and what Strasberg, as far as being a method actor. Yes, it goes very much hand in hand. With
Okay,
that. Absolutely.
So maybe you should do burlesque.
Yeah.
You know, because I am a stiff
but
person.
take the dance
huh?
class.
Dance first.
Any kind of dance class.
Any kind. Okay.
I mean, I'm ballet based. You can see it as a burlesque performer that I am ballet based. And even at that too, even though I'm a protege, I'm still producing 2 burlesque shows here in Las Vegas. It's one of the things that are
That's
keeping me
another
here
thing. So I went to
too.
your show. That was my first. That was my first burlesque show I've ever seen.
And that was Speakeasy, and we are bringing Speakeasy
Speakeasy.
back. Speakeasy will be a
I
little
love-
rebranded.
Speakeasy.
And that was Speakeasy 2022.
Speakeasy.
We're not going to call the next one Speakeasy 2023.
Yeah.
There are
There's
reasons
something
for
else.
it.
There's
It's
another word.
It's going to be
Wait.
called Speakeasy. It'll have something else. I'm not giving that away yet.
Okay.
The reason being for
that sounds good.
Speakeasy, as my co-producer
good.
Annette Lily Starr and I,
Okay.
we have a couple of venues, and one that's actually in construction right now. That would be a real game changer for Speakeasy, and it's very historic in the burlesque community and just in performance community here. If we get that one,
Okay. Please
if,
let us
if
know.
that happens,
Please
that
let
will
us know.
happen in May or June.
Okay.
Can you give
Okay.
me a heads up, please, so I can
Absolutely.
share it
Okay.
with the Vegas group?
Everybody will know about it.
Okay. Okay.
Our other show, which is so crazy, we moved Speakeasy was at the Red Palms on the Strip because new owners, it got bought out.
Mhm.
That happened to me twice this year. We had our other show, Queer AF,
Yeah,
QAF,
we
Burlesque.
have to be careful. That can't be
QAF.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, yes.
We can say
Yeah.
that word,
Yes,
right?
you can. Yeah, yeah.
She came up with Queer AF,
Yeah.
and Lily was here. But we had that show happen at Jimmy Madison's in November. Great cast and whatnot, but then
Mhm.
they got bought out too. So
Oh,
I had to
so-
come on this trip and perform and venue shop. Queer AF does
Mm.
have a venue now already that I can announce.
So can-
And I'm going to announce it here for the first time.
Yay!
You guys get the first time
Thank you,
exclusive.
thank you.
Yeah.
Queer AF happens at on March 22nd, 2023
Okay.
at Oddfellows on the Fremont.
I love Oddfellows.
Oh, you
Ooh,
know, I've been there.
yes.
Oddfellows
is
on the
fun.
Fremont. So that's
Okay.
it's going to happen. I have a great
Oh,
all-star
because they have
cast.
that big screen behind the
Yeah,
bar.
yes, we're going to use that
Oh,
as
that's
well.
cool.
And I really like the
Oddfellows,
venue.
March.
Know
Okay.
this.
Okay.
On the Fremont. So I do like that that's going to be on the Fremont.
Yes.
We're going to have our
Good
cast
spot.
list for that, which our burlesque legend is Gabriella Mace.
Okay.
And and that's one thing with both of my shows out there. We always feature a burlesque legend. A legend of burlesque
Okay.
is somebody that worked during the Rat Pack during those days. That, you know, I stay here with Tiffany Carter, who knew Elvis Presley, who knew that they're from that
Okay.
that era. And Gabriella Mays,
That's a
who used to
Rat
have
Pack show.
Golden Legends Championship Challenge, and she's going on a mini tour, and she'll be here for hours and doing several shows here. But our cast is top notch. All of our performers are at a festival level performance. It's not just any burlesque show.
Exactly,
We're a little
okay.
more advanced.
The real deal.
Our performers in that one include Tana, the tattoo lady,
Cool.
who will be our MC for that show,
Oh, good.
Cool.
Excellent.
and she's amazing.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I know your VIP always sells out.
Uh.
So when's the tickets out? Because I
We
need
will
VIP
get those-
section.
I
I
will
can't
get
do
those
the
up
nosebleed
in
ever
about a
again.
week and a half. And that one across the board would either be 20 to 25. That's a little. It doesn't cost
Okay.
as much for that show.
I don't even care how much
But
it costs. I just want to.
I will have
See,
those-
we want to get
I'll have those out in about a week because that's
Okay.
coming
I'm
up.
shy.
It's in a
I'm
month.
shy. I
That's
didn't
in
know
a
what
month.
to
It's
expect.
in a
And I
month.
didn't want anybody to see
Yeah,
my
you'll be
expression if I
fine.
got blushed.
And this show,
Like
and that space is great. I think it's going to work out. I met with the general manager there the other day as I was scouting locations, and fantastic. I'm looking forward to having it there.
Mhm.
There's so many different burlesque shows now in town right now. I'm able to see one every night I've been here,
Really?
even when I wasn't performing.
So you just like to go.
Well,
and
last
check
night there was one over at Badlands, which was called Lilith. It's a ladies' night, and they did one. Last night's was for appreciating women during Black History Month, and oh my gosh, some of our most
Ooh,
beautiful
I love
performers
that.
last night. Neon, Penny Piper, and people I've known for many years, and
Mhm.
it's just a celebration of female Black excellence. It's a
Yes,
beautiful
I
show.
love that.
Beautiful
I love
show.
that.
And but again, there are so many different
Mhm.
shows in town. Lolita Hayes has one at Square Bar. Again, there's room for everybody and different levels of burlesque. Molly
Okay.
DeMent. There's one at the Backstage Bar and Billiards in Fremont.
Mhm.
I was really surprised at how many there were. Again, I was the performer this
Yeah.
week, and then,
Wow.
while I was venue shopping as the producer, going, "Let's get that one. I hope we get that one." The one for Speakeasy, though. Yes, I will make sure everybody knows when we
Thank you.
know for sure.
Please.
I have some backup ones for it as well, which are very prestigious.
Mhm.
but the one I really want would be a game changer.
Please.
So we'll share it as soon as we can. But yeah, and it'll be called Speakeasy something else.
Okay. Did Burlesque get you into like your sexy side, like your?
No, I think I already had that. You probably already had that. Like,
No, again, I was taking.
Some people are shy,
and
but he's not.
I was made to be a burlesque performer.
Okay.
I was one of those again because I could dance, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think as I'm getting older too, we get a little more comfortable with our sexuality
Yes.
than when we're younger.
We're like,
now you're just like, this is what it is.
It's
Oh
what
my
it is.
God.
Come on, maybe something to work
And sometimes
on.
our bodies look better than other days. You're like, oh great.
Right.
Well, how can I cover that?
Right.
But
But
again, it's just a lot of great performers there, and you're going to get to see a lot of world-class performers that come through. Audrey Deluxe has a show here, world-class from LA. We have a lot of even out-of-state performers that host shows here in Vegas as well. And I performed in LA, just start highlighting a new number I'm getting out there for festival submissions. Again, it's great to be just the performer, I'm still a producer, but to be mentored. I'm excited to get to pick my mentor. And the choices are really good choices. And to compete in GLCC, Golden Legends, I never have competed before. I was always a mentor.
Oh,
So I
okay.
this year I
now
get
you're
to actually
to
compete.
Yes. So you're on the other side of things now.
Right. Well, that's how I started out here. When I started in burlesque in Vegas, when I finally started performing, to get my name out, I ran for Mr. Las Vegas Nude in 2017. I was first runner-up.
So wait, nude?
Wait,
Wait.
Can we look that up?
You do in performance,
Wait,
and you
like
could.
in public nude?
It was at the space, and you don't do the entire. I just did a
indoor
burlesque.
nude.
Yeah,
Okay.
they did a number. Yeah, I won talent. I won all. I got
I'm
first
sure
runner,
you did.
but I got
you.
first runner up
That nude.
because I didn't raise as much for the
Nice.
charity. I'm like, I gotta raise money for charity too. I just, here's some money.
Here's some money. Put your
So I
check.
gotta go do stuff.
You support
What do you want me to do?
Absolutely,
Wow, I love
absolutely.
that.
And that's my thing. And we put different
I
things.
can see you nude. I can see you with like the
That's
sparkly underwear and everything. I'm just not there
It
yet.
was quick. It was,
Can you do a move?
when
for
I
us?
did that number? I think I showed myself nude for like a second and a half. It was quick.
Oh, it was just like a-
It's quick. And there's
Okay.
a hat to cover it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you know how to work
I
it.
fit with it. Become a burlesque performer.
Exactly.
We tease it. We're not
Okay.
there going, look at
Here you
all
go,
that.
here you go.
It was.
He's a tease.
Ah.
It was a
Oh, there you
tease.
go. There goes the move.
It was a
Do it
tease
again.
where you're like, was it? Yeah, I was, but it was quick, and if you missed it, you missed it.
Oh, okay. I love that.
You know, I'm all like, but what it was for me, I think, was to show people that I wasn't afraid to be naked.
Exactly.
You're not afraid.
But we all are a little bit.
I
You're
don't
like, oh
know.
my
You
god.
didn't show it. You did not show anything.
A lot of it. But most burlesque shows don't do that because it's not about that. It's about making the illusion of making you think you're going to see nudity.
Okay.
And that's how I did Ring of Desire.
Yes,
first
I,
film.
I saw
There was
you in
no
that.
nudity.
Yeah, yes, it was sensual and
But,
sexual.
Because the
and-
script originally had a lot of nudity.
Oh, did it?
Oh my god.
I think that would keep people aroused, like seeing the show, like
And
the
so when I-
mystery of
so
it. Like, am I
But
going
no,
to see
no,
something?
yeah,
When
no,
I was
anything.
so when I was given that script, my challenge for me, and I talked to the producers, and I talked to the original writer. When my challenge was to see if I could do this erotic thriller that
You did.
had a lot of nudity. It was originally written for the Emmanuel series on Skinamax. It was written for that. There was a lot of nudity and sex in it. And I remember telling them, I was like, I'll direct this film however you want. I don't think I'd be very good doing that, but and then I came up with the that you would never watch Ring of Desire again. You never see any actual nudity,
I didn't see any, and I did watch
I didn't
it.
see it.
I was
and that was the
I didn't
challenge
see any nudity.
because
so,
it was supposed to be.
So I probably would. I go like this. I'm
And we get very
So you were
thorough.
expecting
I
it,
think
but
you see two paintings on the wall that symbolize nudity.
Mm.
That was it.
Nothing
But they're
that's
not real.
really.
No.
I don't know why. Even
Good.
with I've
Because
seen friends
and you can see the film that it was originally written to be very
I don't know why I'm
overtly
like that.
sexual.
I want to explore.
But there's nothing wrong with having some modesty either. Again,
It's modesty,
as a
I'm like,
performer, I'm real. Again, I'm not. I think there's gotta. I'm not anti-nudity, but I think there's got to be a reason for it.
For sure.
Again, you watch films, like if there's something that it's
It's-
that progresses the plot
Yes.
forward. There is a character
It makes
arc.
sense.
That's something that makes sense for it. If it's just, and that's not putting
It's the
down
art behind
filmmakers
it.
that do that. It's not.
No,
We have a
We're
lot
not
of
putting anyone
friends.
down.
I
Then when
don't
they got into the business, that
Mhm.
okay, they had to show stuff, and we've
Show-
all
I
done.
show my
We've all.
I have to show my titties again.
my
Right.
gosh,
I'm just kidding.
I knew it. That's how you got to
That's
do
how I
it.
got here.
I did have that game thing, but I didn't do it.
But
I
we've
didn't
all
bring that.
started
Have
on
you
different
not?
jobs, even in the film industry, but they've been looking back going, well,
I do have a
that's what I
question.
used
I
to
do
get
have
in.
something. And now, because I don't have my game thing with me that I made that was a mess, have you ever been in a sexual scene?
Not on film,
Not on
on
film.
stage, yes.
Have you? I just said there.
Yeah, I have on stage,
So
but
have
not
you
on film.
ever, but
Not
not on
yet.
film where you had to kiss somebody or pretend to kiss someone?
In film, have I had to kiss anybody?
Oh.
I have not yet.
Oh,
I've died.
I did before everybody. Fake.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I've on stage, yes, as an actor on stage. I mean, I've been on stage for many, many years.
And you.
Yes, absolutely.
performed,
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I only got into film 6 years ago, and
It's good.
but-
Long time though.
but I
No, nothing. Are
Nothing
you sure
where
there's
I've had
nothing
to
that's
show-
gonna pop up?
uh
We type your name in.
no, I'm sure.
No, just kidding.
I'm
Just
sure.
kidding.
Because I'd be advertising it already.
Yeah.
Oh, you would,
I'd be
you'd
like,
be like,
here I am, come look at me. Yeah, but no, am I against it? No. Again, I prefer being the director anyway.
Yeah. I don't like those scenes. Like, I've been the girlfriend, but
So, right.
it's when they want to kiss me, I know how
Did
to.
you do it?
No.
It's one of those things too. If I had
We
to
have only
choreograph
one so far.
or set up
I
a
couldn't.
sexual scene that requires stuff, as a director, as a male director, especially if you're dealing with females or people, you want to make sure that everyone is comfortable.
Yeah.
Not anybody could just be on the set.
Yeah, close second.
Definitely a closed set. Because my sets are open for the most. I like to have visitors, but if there's a sexual scene, there's something that we really, look out for. We did that in Ring of Desire too, but we really look out for that. I do personally. And I was going to create like a sexual scene that was showing that had some gratuitous stuff for whatever reason it was. I would try to make it as artistic as possible and purposeful as possible. We
Of
do our
course.
best to do that. And then make sure that everybody is, again, I'm not a prude in any way, shape, or form, but it's also that aspect of, it's just respect. I think it's just that respect
For
of
sure.
everybody wants to feel like it. That we get that as burlesque artists, and burlesque is celebration of all body types and whatnot.
Oh, that's
And
important.
very often we have burlesque performers that someone will come up and like, oh my God, you're so brave for going up there. And it's like, that's not the nicest thing
Yeah.
to say to somebody. Everybody can be beautiful.
Everybody,
It's-
absolutely.
no one-
Yeah.
Oh, because you're thinking they're talking about that. Maybe they're not talking about the body image.
Right.
Maybe they're just talking
I
because
hope
they could be
so,
their
maybe.
first one, and then be
Maybe,
mine. You would say,
maybe.
Nicole, you're so brave, because I would be brave.
Right.
Right. And it is
It's
just
a brave thing to do, but
yeah,
it's like,
and
It
just
is a
going
brave
up
thing to
there,
go up
but
there
that
for the people.
comfortability of being up there where you're showing your body, it goes through again. And for audience members that go for their first time, and again, like QAF is a little more.
It was beautiful. Each one
Right.
was so.
I think there was a sizzle reel we put on for
Beautiful.
Queer as Fuck online.
Did you? What did you say?
There's a sizzle reel
Did you
for
say
Queer
a
as
word?
Fuck. Queer as Folk.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Queer as AF.
Queer
That's what he
AF.
said. I'm just clarifying.
Queer as Folk. Well, it is. The thing is, the title isn't offset off the show Queer as Folk.
Okay.
So we literally leave those two letters in the middle as an asterisk for you to interpret.
Yes.
Mm.
I
Is the name AF as the curse
Yeah.
word, or is it as folk?
Oh,
And
okay.
you
So
say
it makes
it makes us wonder: is it queer as folk? Queer as folk?
Okay.
So
You
it sounds
like
like
when
I'm
people
cussing.
ponder. You like when people like me ponder.
But
Now I
even-
can ponder
right.
over somebody
Well,
else. That's two
If we
things.
even look at the lettering, it looks exactly like the lettering as how the TV shows was done. It's
Hmm.
queer as folk. Except
Is it
I
with
do
the
yeah, but I do the two little
Pretty-
asterisks in the middle for the two letters. It's F asterisk K. Folk is done the same way too.
Oh, okay.
Could be either or.
Yeah, either or.
But that's what it is.
So it's whatever you want to call it.
And it gives that kind of, I think it makes it across the board where it reaches out to more people again.
Yeah.
There's some people that are comfortable with nudity but not comfortable with language.
Isn't that something?
Uh-huh.
I would definitely be a colorful, belligerent person. Nudity, I'd be like, do you really have to see all that? You don't want to see all
yeah.
that.
Right,
Think of
right.
language,
Maybe in the
Right.
fog, like a lot
Right.
of fog in
Well,
the
the
city.
thing is, like with QAF, with queer AF,
Mm-hmm.
as folk, as whatever you want to call it, that we have performers in it that are, again, we have a legend in each show, and some of our legends are in their 70s doing that.
Oh my! I did. I've seen it, and they were so beautifully
Yeah.
done. Like you could
I mean,
tell they were.
Nobody wants to see my old, but I'm 50.
They
but they
do.
still do.
Maybe
Yeah.
they do.
And
So that's
the
like
thing
that.
is
You can do
do
that all your
celebrate
life.
that we have performers from their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, their 50s,
Mhm.
60s, and 70s
Because for
all through the
everybody,
show.
that's what
I think it's celebrate. I think that's the point of it, to celebrate all.
Yeah.
sizes and shapes and everything.
But really, I think Tasteful put together choreographed, cheesy, cool numbers, and that's what it is. They're artistic pieces.
No,
and,
it's for
and we do that as filmmakers, as artists too. We want our things. We want little moments of art in it, no matter what your script is. Again, that was the thing is I did choose the first 2 scripts for my films, and I'm going to do my third. But when I directed this, I did want there to be moments of people watching it going, there is some art in there.
I'm leaving.
Yeah, she left.
Nicole has a surprise for you.
Oh no!
The thing kind of broke.
What do we got coming up?
This broke.
Oh well, we got questions.
Yeah.
But we did.
I think it's cute how she made
this.
them.
I agree.
And it's
this.
Valentine's Day, so shout out to
missed.
Nicole.
This is have yes, but the other ones fell off the.
I got it.
Let's see.
Yes.
Not yet.
Okay.
So I did have these things.
Questions.
So, and we already talked it, but now we have to do that. Have you
I'm
ever
gonna have some
been?
surprises.
Well, I gave you a heads up. There could be another one I could throw in there.
Great.
Do we have to be completely honest, or?
Yes.
What are you, a politician?
Maybe.
It's subjective honest.
Right.
And we already did this one. So,
Okay.
have you ever had a romantic scene? Mine would have been yes.
Yes, I have on stage.
On stage.
Yes.
Not yet. Get her on there. Have you ever re-gift a gift?
I have. Totally.
I have kids.
Totally, yes,
I definitely
absolutely.
would.
I get a lot of things from fans from the burlesque community, and people will send me stuff, and
He's a
beautiful
gifters.
things, but that I will never wear, or like beautiful kimono robe and stuff that aren't my aesthetic or style. But I have somebody that come in that are brand new, that sometimes come from,
Guilty.
outstanding performers that I've given to people because it's
They're
not my aesthetic or style.
We're leavers. We get away with it.
Yeah, I totally have.
Let's see. Have you ever went streaking in public?
Yes,
Not yet.
I was young.
I need to live a little. Okay, I'm gonna live a little.
I was
Maybe
young.
I will.
Yeah.
Live a little more.
Would you want to rely?
I told you, Ronnie's life is fun.
He explained the first question. He's not going to explain this one. Just a yes, yes, yes.
I'm a ballet dancer. We're comfortable with our bodies young, and things you do with crazy kids in companies or on theater tours.
You're just so much
You just
fun.
go and you're having fun. You do those things, or like you play games with your drinking buddies on tour, on a theater games. You do those things. Most theater kids or ballet or dancers, we've all streaked naked at some time in a dare from a cast party. We've done it.
I noticed something. She wants us to be
Yes.
honest because look, this one doesn't have a stick, and she's like, she wants us
Yes,
to. Yeah.
I
You're
have.
not
yeah.
slick, Nicole.
What's the stick
I'm
on
on.
there, bro?
It's probably been about 25
You're
years
not
since I've
slick
done that, but yeah.
My crafty
Okay.
is not so crafty.
It's okay. We
You
know what you're
theater
at.
kids, we do those things.
You set us up. It's okay.
When you're on tour or a group of bunch of dancers and theater kids, you do that.
Yeah.
So,
It's a
have you, I'm going to really put it on you.
Uh-oh.
Have you ever lied to get out of trouble?
Oh, I mean, I think everybody
Like
does.
ours.
Yes, but I learned really young. Like I said, my dad was a cop, and the worst thing I was always taught is a liar is a thief, and a thief is a liar.
Ooh.
The integrity.
And I remember one time I was out with my uncle at a Gibson's department store when I was a kid, and I stole a Star Wars figure, and I was caught with it, and I got in worse trouble because I lied.
Caught?
Yes.
That's why, because if you didn't get caught, you would have
Oh,
had to big
well, it taught me not to
So
lie.
no Star Wars around you, just in case.
I love Star Wars,
I know, that's
but I
why
got
I
in
wait for
trouble.
you.
I got in trouble as a little kid, and I learned my lesson the hard way.
Okay.
But yeah, of course I did. It's one of those. But yeah, it's not a common practice I would ever do.
Yeah.
And since
We're not promoting it.
you're
No,
not promoting it.
I learned really quickly
Just
not
keep
to
the
do
Star
that.
Wars
Only
away
truth
from Ronnie.
Well, I was 8.
Ain't bad, but it still could be in you.
That's 42 years ago.
Yeah. We did some things that.
But yeah, my dad was a cop, and I got in a lot of really bad trouble because of that.
Oh
I
my
never did it
gosh.
again.
No,
Of
see,
course,
never
ever.
did it.
I learned my lesson.
Lesson for that one.
Yeah, totally.
There's have you ever been dumped or dumped anyone on Valentine's Day?
That has happened to me.
It has happened. Okay. No.
Okay. I'm gonna say yes because
It was terrible. I remember it was my first winter I lived in New York City.
Kleenex.
I remember
Kleenex.
this, and somebody I was dating out there actually dumped me the day before. Not really dumped me, stood me up the day before Valentine's Day, and they ghosted me for like 2 months. And there was no cell phones or anything then or whatnot. This was back in 1994.
Okay. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
And that person and I are actually, I ran into that person 20 some odd years later on the road. He's the person, he's a dear friend of mine, now lives in San Francisco Bay Area. Dear, and I'm like, he broke my heart when I was 22 or 21
Is
or
that how
whatever.
you handle it? How did you
I
handle
thought, you
it?
broke my heart.
You broke
but,
my heart.
but he did the right thing. I needed some growing up at the time. It wouldn't have, the life and the trajectory and the things I got to do. I wasn't.
Do you ever think about it sometimes? Maybe you just cry.
No, not at all.
Cry yourself to sleep.
It's those things, you know, when you're young like that, every breakup is the most serious thing. And I was so in love. We don't know things at that time.
So to this day now,
I mean, I'm not
you
the
would
same
cry about
partner
it.
now for 20 years. So.
Okay.
But it's those kind of things that when you're younger, oh my gosh, it's real. I was lonely. I was in New York City and I was new and yeah, and stood me up.
You stood me
Oh
up.
my gosh.
It was a dear friend of mine still to this day.
Okay.
We're still great friends. And we ran into each other like 20 years after the fact. Randomly on the road, I was driving from Texas to Las Vegas. He was driving from San Francisco. He had family in Texas. And on social media, I saw where he had checked in near Gallup, New Mexico. And I was like, I'm 10 miles from Gallup, New Mexico. And we ran into each other on the road to say hello. We hadn't seen each other in 20 years. And during the
What is
pandemic,
that?
I was at my bar, and he has randomly walked into my bar. So we've become friends,
Whoa,
and
okay.
since then,
Nice.
yeah, it's neat that the how history and life brings you those funny little
Come
things
back
like
full
that.
circle,
And that person's still a really good friend of mine.
I don't do you have any questions of anything? Do you want to bring out anything?
I just want to know, do you still cry about it?
Oh, not about that. There's lots of other things you get older to cry about.
There
You
is
know.
a
We're
lot.
serious.
And you deal with, again, with loved ones and protecting the people that you want to protect. And when they get sick or just things like that, even with people with children, we all know those are the things that are most
Oh,
important.
that's the triggers for
Yeah,
me.
those
So
are the
I can
the
usually handle
people
things.
that I love are going through things that are hard, whether it's health or
Mhm.
life. That's more now. It's not about
Absolutely.
them. Again,
It's the realism then,
Yeah.
because there's little stuff that really doesn't matter.
yeah,
at the end
getting
of the day.
dumped when you're a kid, at that time, that's the most traumatic thing. But later on in life, you're kind of
You're
like,
like,
oh
okay.
my gosh, really? I
Yeah,
cried
I
over
cried over
that.
that. Like, whoa.
Especially when you get older, you do
I have to go back just to
You
see
deal with a
back in
lot
time to
more.
see Ronnie.
You deal with a lot more things later that
For sure.
Trying to think.
Is there anything you want to add, like any more secrets
I'm
you have
trying
for
to
us?
think
Any more
any
shows?
fun
Because
secret things we were
I
talking
mean,
about.
I
Mr.
know
Deshie,
I'm
we were
excited
talking
about what you have coming up in March.
Can we hold that
Yeah.
back now?
Oh, yeah.
Queer AF, queer as folk, queer as
I get worried. I'm like,
F, blah blah, and
Anything from like Vegas or we
Oddfellows?
see you more out
no,
here?
no. I know what he needs to share. His social media platforms.
Platforms.
So
Oh,
other
nice.
people can connect. That's
I
really
do.
important.
I do
Really
share on Facebook. I use my real muggle name, my Ronnie Lloyd Nanos. I also have a page on there, Pistol Holiday, for as for the burlesque world.
Yes, yes.
Same name on Instagram. Use my full name, Ronnie Lloyd Nanos. I'm actually about to start some new Instagram stuff with QAF Burlesque and Speakeasy to really get that. We do have photos and sizzle reels, but we do want to get out there as well with my co-producer Lily Starr. And then IMDb, use my same name. Again, I do use my muggle name in theater and film, but and Pistol Holiday in the burlesque world.
Spell out your last name for everyone.
My real name, my last name is Nanos.
Nanos.
Yes.
Nanos. You're like,
Nanos. Okay.
I'm not saying things
You're
right.
fine. You're good.
It's not really good. You know
I'm
why?
like,
Because I've been eating healthier and I'm hungry.
she wants some water now.
Yeah, like an apple or something. Oh, it's already at that time.
Is it time?
too.
Is it time?
But I do want to give a shout out. Wait, not yet. No, it's not time. I got it's really important information again because there's a lot of people tuning in. Please add, share, connect, sign up through Social Media Shows Network.
Now we're on Spotify, so please
Spotify,
tune in to
that's
Spotify.
fine.
Download the app
My Jedi
and
robe.
have it on your phone.
And Maria Pereza will be at the Days of the Dead event this whole weekend.
This
I can't wait
weekend.
to say hi. There's so many people stopping by. I want to say thank you to all the sponsors. And we're looking forward to giving shout outs, connections, and putting
Be a good way
yeah,
to
putting
put yourself
there.
out there. And
Right.
interviews by Nicole. And it was free, so please come out.
Right.
Well, it's,
If there's any other questions on social media after
It's
watching
not
this,
free.
post
Oh,
them.
it's
I'll
okay.
answer.
Never mind.
I'll answer any questions for anybody that watches this on repeat or whatnot. post your questions. Post your questions on YouTube with social media. Post it on Facebook when we share it. I'm happy to answer anything that you may want to ask any of us that we can cover.
Do you want these in case you want questions? I have that.
So put those questions out there. Always be respectful. And yeah.
Thank you so much, and
Okay,
I'm going to support you. Please share your Indiegogo.
We're going to share a Wonderful Life, directed and written by Jeff London, and filming in May.
Oh, there's something really big. Go ahead.
So we would like to ask you if you would love to join us in being a co-host
when you're here.
When you are here too.
I think we talked about it. I think I would
no,
like
we
to
didn't talk about it here though. This is important.
Co-host the show maybe next March, right before QA. I think we did March 21st.
Yes.
We can do that.
I like that.
I'll dress up.
And then one more thing. Tell them the tickets aren't free. How much are the tickets?
Well, they're on Days of the Dead event. They're only free for veterans and children under 12. So Days of the Dead this weekend. Ronnie's going to be co-hosting with us when he comes back from his fun Mardi Gras and his bar in Amarillo.
Yeah,
Texas.
And I'll be performing in Colorado Springs before then, and right after that I'll be performing in headlining in Kansas City. And then actually, that Kansas City trip, I'm actually going to be giving a lecture and a workshop for the theater and film students at the university there in Kansas City as well.
In Kansas? What's this Kansas thing? What's happening?
March 31st and April 1st.
Okay, that's really important.
Yeah, so forgot that too.
It's
doing that.
Yeah.
No, we are officially
coming
to a closing though. We are coming to a closing in Vegas Views. I'm Nicole Vegas.
This show is brought to you by Michelle Kubiak with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, call Michelle at 702-683-6576. Her license number is S.48606. This show is also brought to you by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa, located on Silverado Ranch, here in Henderson, Nevada. Restore, relax, and refresh. Let's not forget our very own Meryl and Merrick comedy show. This fun, comical TV sitcom duo with Social Media Source Network loves to make you laugh. Mahel Empire Productions. It's a filmmaker based in Las Vegas, Nevada. Founded by Michael and Sonny Mahal, and are dedicated to making feature films. Turn your power on with Broken Bulb Productions. Owned by Russell Rapp, an independent filmmaker based out of New Jersey. This show is brought to you by, let's not forget, our very own GI Connections. It's a non-profit organization that connects veterans with resources. We're also proud to recognize Prolific Arts with Sonia Scott. Painting is the expression of emotion and feeling deep within one's heart. Let's not forget Matoma Environmental Technologies. Global research, development, and manufacturing of innovative photocatalytic products. Our show is also brought to you by Carmelo Rodriguez, who is the author of a best-selling book called Smile. It's based on true events. It's the story of a couple building a family. Get your copy of his book at Amazon today. We also love our musicians. Think about Frank's Tribute, an all-star band. It's a Green Bay-based band with Let Me Be Frank's Productions, family owned by Frank Hermans, who happens to be a veteran entertainer.
Welcome to social media shows. Have you been watching social media shows recently? Of course you have. We have been live streaming for 4 years across social media platforms. We produce over 70 shows with over 1,000 episodes. In the process, we've helped over 100 creators realize their dreams and start their own show. We give platforms to promote your business. If you are an artist, if you have an event, if you are entrepreneurs, or if you have a story. If you haven't done it yet, go ahead and subscribe and follow us on major social media platforms. And if you have a great idea of a show, Join us. Social media shows can help you produce and live stream your own show. Let us help you make your dream become a reality.
Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vegas Views. And happy Valentine's Day. I'm your happy Biddy. I am